Everybody loved him. Hundreds of people would be by the courthouse, and he, put up his finger to the government, and that's it. This man is dying, and you still have him in solitary confinement. He was tied, his feet to the bed, and his hands were tied to the bed. People want to question if my father was weak or tough. He had a severe kidney infection. He was sick. He didn't get to see a doctor. By the time he got off the bus, he was covered in blood. If there was ever a time to become a rat or something, it would have been then. No, instead he fought 5 trials. Eli has never had any conversation with my father. You lie about my son? Like, this is how sick they are. I defend my family. I think I do a pretty good job of defending my family. But other people defend my family also. I don't ask them to do it, but they do. Hi, everybody. I'm sorry this is short notice, and I know that Carlos and Nelson and Big Lou, the no-fly zone are going on, and I don't like to do that to anyone, so I'm not going to be on here long. I just wanted to read something to all of you. Now, I've been telling everybody for the longest time that Gravano is nothing but a liar. John Gotti was never throwing him under a bus. Him and Frank LaCasio were never plotting to kill my father. It was all lies. So the prosecutor in the case, a man named Gleason, wrote a book. And he was the prosecutor that Gravano went to when he wanted to make his deal. I'll say hello to everybody after I read this. So in today's New York Post, they have an excerpt from the book, and I just want everybody to. I'll read it to you. I don't know if I can get it on here. I'm going to try. So hold on 1 minute. Let me try. Let me know if you guys can see this. If not, I'm just going to read it to you. Well, I'll read it to you anyway. MRE taught me how to do this, and I thought I did it right. Hold on. Okay. Here. And share. Now, can everybody see this? I can't even see the chat. So, Ange, can you text me if everybody can see this? Just let me know. I'm not sure if you can all see this, because I can't see the chat. I can't even see the StreamYard. Can't see. Okay, so I'm doing something wrong. Here, let me try this. Can everybody? No. Okay, hold on. Let's see. This way. Maybe I have to take this down. Hold on. Maybe this picture has to come down. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, there we go. You can see it now. But yet it's not letting me scroll it. Okay, no, it's just giving me this. Hold on, let me get this off here. Let me try this again. All right, I'm just going to read it to you because for some reason I don't know. MRE told me how to do this. It's good? Oh, okay, hold on. Ange says it's good. Now you can see it? But it won't let me scroll up. Like, it's not letting me move it. And I don't know why. Let me try it again. Hold on. Share. He said share screen. Do this. Go here. Chrome. Go there. And share. Now can you see it or no? Could you see it now? Just see the top. Can you see me scrolling it, Ange? You see it scrolling? I don't know if everybody can see it. If not, it's not a problem. I'll just read it to you all anyway. Okay, no one's answering me. Yes. So you can see me scrolling it? All right, I'm going to read it anyway. Let me just read it. It's how and why. Yes, okay, good. How and why Sammy the Bull Gravano turned on John Gotti. Okay, let's go. It was the biggest gamble of John Gleason's life. In 1991, the federal prosecutor gearing up for his second murder trial of John Gotti in 4 years had gotten word that the Gambino crime boss underling and co-defendant Sammy the Bull Gravano wanted to meet without his lawyer. Thanks, Ange. Okay, thank you, Joy. So Ange and Joy are both texting me that they can see it. Okay. The only logical reason was that Gravano was ready to flip and testify against the Dapper Don. That, however, would be an epic betrayal of the mafia's code of silence and the most devastating blow ever delivered to organized crime, given that no one even close to Gravano's level of power had ever cut a deal with prosecutors before. But U.S. Attorney Gleason, the top mob buster in Brooklyn, was deeply concerned that if Gotti got wind of a meeting with his hitman underboss, Gravano would be targeted for death. So the prosecutor arranged a secret powwow to see what Gravano had to say. They met privately in a jury room at the federal courthouse in downtown Brooklyn. After shaking hands, Gravano got right to the point. I want to jump from our government to your government, he said. Why? Gleason asked. I think if we manage to beat the case, John will try to kill me when we hit the street, Gravano replied. So if we do win, I'd have to kill him or be killed by him. If I kill him, I have to kill his brothers, Gene and Pete, and his kid, probably some others too. It would get complicated. So there's Gravano's reason for ratting on John Gotti. Not that John Gotti was going to throw him under a bus. This is just one of the shocking revelations in Gleason's book, The Gotti Wars. Of course, another person who has to put Gotti on their cover to sell a book. Taking down America's most notorious mobster. Out Tuesday, it focuses on the 5 years from 87 to 92 when the prosecutor twice indicted the Gambino boss in a relentless and often frustrating effort to put him behind bars. He writes how Gravano believed Gotti wanted him dead because of tapes the FBI had recorded on the big boss bucking out orders, which had been played for the defendants in pretrial proceedings. The parts used, because that's how he talks, the parts used played in court sound like he's trying to get Frankie, co-defendant Frank Licasio, to go along with whacking me, Gravano said in the book. The Bull also made clear that he felt comfortable dealing with Gleason, a Bronx native, and two of the G-men in the room, Frank Spiro and Matty whatever, trusting them not to double bang me. Gleason agreed he would do that, even though he had no idea what Gravano meant by double bang. Their time that afternoon was limited as they couldn't raise suspicions or risk having someone walk in on them. But within an hour or so, the lawmen were agog at the litany of revelations from their new witness. After quickly copping to a half a dozen murders, including helping gunmen rub out longtime Gambino head Paul Castellano and his driver in 1985, Gravano was asked how many people he killed. About 18, he said. I think it's 18. Could it be more or less? Yeah. I need to write them down, and I can't do that in the MCC, Metropolitan Correctional Center, the Lower Manhattan lockup where he was being held. Writes Gleason. We all paused to reflect about the fact he'd committed so many murders. He needed a pencil and paper to do an exact tally. Who else, the prosecutor wanted to know? Anyone special on that list? Jimmy Hoffa? Debbie's brother is on it. Debbie is his wife, by the way. Debbie's brother is on it, Gravano replied matter-of-factly, referring to his wife's younger sibling. This was a shocker to everyone in the room. We didn't even know Debbie had a brother, let alone that Gravano had killed him, Gleason writes. What's his name? Nick Scabetta. Did Debbie know he was involved in his death? This is Gleason right here. He looks like Lord Fauntleroy. That's what my father used to call him. No, and I will never testify. No, and I will never testify about it, and it can't ever come out. Scabetta, it seemed, had been a low-level Gambino associate and once insulted the daughter of a family captain before he was whacked in 1978 on the orders of Castellano. Only an arm was ever found. A few days later, once the deal was signed, agents spirited Gravano out of the MCC in the middle of the night and drove him to a motel in Floral Park. Imagine that, right here in Floral Park in Nassau County, just across the border from Queens, according to the book. On the drive, Gravano made yet another astonishing admission. He'd fixed the murder conspiracy and racketeering trial of Gotti in 1987 by enlisting Gambino associate Bosco Radjanovic, I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry, to bribe one of the jurors, a friend of the Serbian gangster who agreed to take $60,000 to scuttle the case. The one thing that I always never understood is how, okay, so you get to one juror, so you're guaranteed a hung jury. But how does one juror convince 11 others of going along his way? But whatever. This infuriated Gleason, who was second chair during that trial, which ended in an across-the-board acquittal for Gotti. So it was an across-the-board acquittal. All right, whatever. The perplexing thumbs-down verdict would be the first of 3 unsuccessful attempts to put Gotti away, leading to a new nickname for this slippery, wise guy, the Teflon Don. For the moment, there was nothing Gleason could do to address what had been a humiliating defeat. Besides, he had an immediate need to find a safe house to stash Gravano during the 3 months it would take to prepare him for trial. Enter FBI Director William Sessions, who offered up his own living quarters at the training academy in Quantico, Virginia. Here's Quantico. It was government swanky, Gleason told the Post, of the digs where he and Gravano would spend weeks going over testimony and comfort. Turning Gravano was a seismic moment in the annals of American mafia, Gleason notes in the book. But to make it happen, he had to put his career in jeopardy. I sure got my butt fired, Gleason told the Post. I'm sorry. I'm just so mad right now. This was because he'd agreed to see Gravano without the mobster's lawyer, going against laws and legal ethics for protecting the rights of defendants, and because he didn't tell his own boss, then U.S. Attorney Andrew Maloney, what he was up to, including having met with Debbie Gravano to convince her husband to come forward. Debbie turned out to be critical to the case. She negotiated deals of her husband's deal with Gleason before the two men even met, and had to pretend to be shocked and angry that he'd flipped so as to protect her own life, according to the book. The arrangement was serious cloak and dagger. You know, I'm going to tell a story about this when I'm done. He justified cutting out Gravano's attorney, Ben Brofman, because the bull didn't trust Brofman not to rat him out to Gotti. After all, the lawyers repped both mobsters. He thought he would be killed if he told his lawyer what he wanted, writes Gleason. Gleason, meanwhile, was concerned that Maloney, a regular at University Club in Midtown, would blab to his pals about Gravano flipping. So he revealed his plan only to the judge in the case, Leo Glasser, who instructed him to keep the whole thing a secret. He later came clean with Maloney, who objected mildly but gave his blessing. But Maloney's deputy, Mary Jo White, was furious. I kept this to myself because he sees those guys for drinks almost every night, he told her, according to the book. And I figured if I told you, you'd have told him. Of course I would have told him, she snapped. Look at Lord Fauntleroy. He's the one who, in the whole, this guy right here is the guy who, when General Flynn was, that other judge who wouldn't release him, after how much time he wouldn't release him. This guy right here wrote the judge, I forgot that judge's name, to not drop the charges on General Flynn. This guy right here, Lord Fauntleroy. On the eve of the trial, the pressure to finally get a win was huge, Gleason recalls in the book. Another acquittal and I'd be forever known as the guy John Gotti beat twice, the lawyer who on 2 occasions had failed to prove that the most flamboyant and public mob boss in history had committed every single crime. In the end, it all worked out splendidly for the government. Gravano was an almost unimaginably good witness, Gleason writes. He made no effort to minimize his crimes and was aided in the attitude by a deep-seated belief that they were all justified by the life, even the murders. They broke our rules, he testified, of the crimes, and by breaking the rules of the life they'd chosen, they had it coming. Oh, this must be when he got arrested for the drugs. After being the key to convicting Gotti and Lucasio, Gravano went on to help put away a total of 39 mobsters, including Vincent the Chin Gigante, the head of the Genovese crime family, along with bosses or underbosses of the Colombo, Lucchese, and DeCavalcanti clans. Gravano was sentenced to 5 years in prison in 1994, but by then he had already been in the slammer for 4 years, so he was free by 1995. The relative wrist slap enraged the loved ones of Gravano's murder victims. In the end, it turned out there were 19 of them. It's also something that Gleason still regrets, saying in the book that he too quickly agreed to a 20-year prison cap during that first meeting with him. He's so full of it. I'd left at least 5 years on the table, he wrote. The juror's pal, Radanovic, I don't know how to say Radonix, juror pal George Papp got convicted 6 months after Gotti went down, and Gleason became a federal judge before eventually leaving for private practice. Following his release, Gravano famously bolted witness protection only to spend 15 years in an Arizona jail for drug dealing. Debbie, who eventually learned the truth of her brother's death, but still stuck by her husband, ultimately split from him in 96. This is amazing to me. A free man for the last 5 years, Gravano, now 77, continues to make bank from his mob days, doing interviews and telling stories of his Gotti glory days on Our Thing podcast. But Gleason's pride in having turned him, which led to a tsunami of fresh betrayals and convictions, a crippling blow to the mob, comes through in the book. Captains and made guys lined up to cooperate. My life in crime paid off. Okay. Okay. Hello. Oh, 263 comments. Okay. So, now everybody knows. Look, I told everyone my brother has 3 projects in the works. I told everyone, I've been telling everyone, and all you mob experts, so-called mob experts, so-called podcasters, so-called whatever you think you are, mob tube, whatever you think you are, not one of you, not one, every single one of you said John Gotti was throwing him under a bus. You didn't know what the hell you were all talking about. Not one of you. And I told everyone John Gotti would never throw him on. John Gotti would never throw any man under a bus. No one, because that's not what John Gotti was. John Gotti was a man. And now you all know. Now you all know that he's a lying piece of crap. Oh, and I'm sorry if I'm whining. I don't think I'm whining. And I'm also not begging for money either. And I want to say to the few people who did say John Gotti would never throw Gravano under a bus, like Mob Rats Exposed, thank you. I appreciate all the times you always did. Even Mob Talk Radio, I appreciate you all the times you said that it was a lie. So let me say hello to all of you, and then I'm going to say a few more things, and then I'm going to go because it's not fair. No Fly Zone had their live planned. I just did this as a last minute thing because I really couldn't wait to later. I wanted to do this now. And really just to go, maybe just to rub it in your faces a little bit, some of you who you people threw my father under a bus. You all did. When you don't even, you sit there and you believe a piece of garbage like Gravano. And my brother, like I said, has 3 projects in the works. Sammy ratted to avoid prison and he killed a lot of people. Well, yeah, you notice how they did. You notice how Judge Gleason, he's not a judge anymore. Notice how he didn't bring up 16-year-old innocent boy, Alan Kaiser. He didn't bring him up. I wonder if he's mentioned in his book. I want to know if Alan Kaiser is mentioned in that book. To avoid prison, he killed a lot of, had them killed to rob their businesses. Exactly. Now, what was going on was my father was catching on to what Gravano was doing and him having a discussion with his best friend, Frank Lacasio, and not knowing that that apartment was bugged does not make my father a dry snitch. My father was discussing what was going on with Frank Lacasio because Gravano, everything, my father was starting to figure out what the hell was going on with him. Next time, you Gravano fanboys who sit and listen to his stories, tell him to get Gleason's new book. It's coming out Tuesday. Okay. Hi, I'm sorry I didn't say hello, anyone. I'm just gonna get through your comments real quick because, like I said, the no-fly zone is going on. Gravano ratted so he could get back home to his boyfriend, probably. Hello, my joy. Sean, was the other 30? No, it was 39. 39. The other 39 people he got on the stand and put them away, going to throw him under a bus too? Exactly. Hello, Rob. Exactly. I'm sorry, Carlos. I'm going to get off soon. Hello, Queen Amin. Hello, Yankees. Hello. Yeah, exactly. Rat Trap City has been posting the the transcripts from the Ravenite. Yes, they are. They're on his channel, so everybody go look, sub to his channel, Rat Trap City. He has them. He has some of the transcripts from the apartment. And those things didn't sound like my father was very greedy, did it, Rat Trap City? Well, he wasn't the greedy one, right? Hi, Kevin. He ratted because he's a weak person and a bum. He ratted because he couldn't do jail time. He couldn't do the time. That's why he ratted. I told you all. I went to the MCC to visit my father, and Gravano happened to be coming out too. His wife Debbie was there, and my father doesn't never complained about anything, never. And here's Gravano, and he says hello, and he's complaining. I could not believe it. He said, "I can't believe there's no mail here on a Saturday." And my father just looked at him like, yeah, well, what are you going to do? And then he said it a second time. I just can't believe there's no mail here on a Saturday. Now I saw my father got like a little bit embarrassed because I looked like, are you serious? And my father got embarrassed. And that's something that I will never forget till the day I die. How this guy is supposed to be this big, tough guy, and he's crying that there's no mail in the MCC on a Saturday. John Gotti wanted Sammy to run the family if he went to the can. Exactly. Really sounds like he was thrown under the bus. Exactly. John Gotti would never, ever, ever throw anyone under a bus. It didn't make sense. None of it made sense. Okay, so everybody's saying yes, yes, you could all. All right, you all saw. Scroll is good. Okay. Okay. There's a lot of that. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Okay. Carlos, all government cooperating witnesses are liars, period. You know what? I'd say yes. Angela, he was afraid. What a coward. Exactly. Hi, we push back. Hi, NB. Angel, good evening to you in chat. Hi, NB. Okay. Yes, Angela. Okay. Hi, Moses Heaps. How are you? Oh, I want you to all know that I feel much, much better. The stone is gone. I'll just say that. The kidney stone is gone, and I feel much better today. Rat Trap City because he found out Sammy was free. No, I don't know about that. I don't know. I can't say that or not. I won't lie. I have no idea about that. Sammy, yep, you're right. Yep, his own brother-in-law. That's right. That's right. And that's right. Thank you, Yankees for life. R.I.P. Alan Kaiser. That's right. Joe Bag of Donuts. One juror doesn't need the other 11 for a hung jury. He has to. Yeah, that's what I said. So you're like getting one juror. I guess you're guaranteeing it's a hung jury. But when how did all 11, the other 11? So now you have all 12. It was an acquittal. So, but you know what? It's too complicated for to sit and explain. Hi, Sessanino. Hi, BK Shallon. How are you? Okay. Yeah, okay. Just watch the video. Yeah, okay. You listen, when I come on here and I say something, I don't lie. So you'll see very soon, you're going to see. And anything I ever say, I don't lie. So you'll see. My brother, you'll see about him as well. You'll see about my brother John. I'm not going to argue with any of you. You people didn't even know Drito. Sammy, scammy is the absolute worst. He shouldn't be able to make a dime off any of this. Yeah, you're right. Hi, the truth hurts. How are you? Sean, imagine that he told on 39 people uh were you said were they all plotting to throw him under a bus? Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me just come down here. Thank you. Thank you. Sammy used the excuse that he was scared of John just to stay out of jail. I don't understand that. Were you going to say scared? Okay. Code of the streets. John Gotti never threw anything but a great firework party. That's right. That's right. Okay. Now, let me see. Didn't realize was that Marla Edgar didn't realize Gravano's wife was that grimy. I guess so. Let me tell you something. If anybody ever put took a hair out of my brother, either one of my brother's heads, I would forget about it. Could you imagine, let alone kill them? Oh, let me not get into that. Hi, Babe. How are you? Red Trap City. Good for you, Aunt Angel. Thank you. I love being everybody's favorite aunt. um, Rest in peace, Alan Kaiser. Joe, oh, the truth hurts. Faith, you're doing good. Just need to rethink Nikki. Yeah, you better, Joe. Don't trust these people. Sammy the Bull lied and ratted to save his rear end while John Gotti never ratted, never folded, and died taking his lumps. That's right. Rest in peace, John Gotti. Angel, have a great show. Thank you, Code of the Streets. I'm going to get off here in a few minutes. John Gotti John Gotti said, never trust a man who never did prison time. Yeah, too bad he didn't follow his own advice. Vito, I refuse to watch Schmiegel or any of these rats because all of it is lies or whatever to make themselves look good. And if you rat, you lose all credibility with me. Yep. They don't bring Alan up because they know the public would be outraged 100%. That's right. They don't bring Alan Kaiser up. And hey, Jen, I hope you're feeling better. Sean, the FBI knew Gravano was selling drugs. Casso told them 100%, 100%, but it didn't matter. They told Alan Kaiser's family, listen, he killed your son. There's nothing you could do about it. He's testifying against John Gotti. He killed a 16-year-old innocent boy, and there was nothing nobody was going to do about it because they wanted John Gotti. I know real men, and no one has ever said a bad word about John, but Gravano is a different story. I know. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Okay. Another thing I want to say is that Mob Rats Exposed said today that he is going to be removed from the We Push Back website. Now, that bothered me. That bothers me a lot. But then I was thinking about it, and I just said, you know what? Whatever any of you on here want to say about him, what you think about him, what your opinion is of him, he has more integrity than all of you who turned on him put together. All of you. He has more integrity than all of you put together because he doesn't want to have, because the rats on here, rats, nothing but rats on here, doesn't want to ruin anything with Dominic and me. So he would rather walk away from us because of not to bring trouble upon us. He has more integrity than most of all of you. And I don't mean the people in the chat. I mean the people who had their opinions about him. And so with that, I am going to, what's this? Minnesota Facts. Angel, we know you are here for righteous reasons. You're definitely not here like these online web surfer, Cash App journalists. That's right. Thank you. That's right. I'm not. He realized Sammy was robbing the family and stealing everyone's businesses and lying to John Gotti. Well, go look at the transcripts. But you know what? My brother's coming out with some things, so you'll see. You'll hear John Gotti's own voice. They're all tough until it comes time to doing time. Yes. Yes. Okay. And for those who have a problem with my brother John walking away from that life, too bad. He is a P word, Joy. Excuse my French, but when I read that, I was furious. Yes. The truth hurts. John Gotti was a man's man, could never be, never mind the rats. John Gotti was a man. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm seeing double over here. John Gotti was a man, most could never be, never mind the rats. Yes. See, I'm trying to rush because I feel very bad that I cut into this. Mob fact, Sam Gravano said he didn't get caught on wiretaps. Exactly. I have the audio of one of the Ravenite recordings with Gravano talking reckless. It sounds like Gravano was trying to bait your father into take. Exactly. Okay. All right, everyone. I'm going to end this because the no-fly zone is going on, and I feel terrible about this. But everybody, oh, there you are. See, now I look at that. Hi, MRE. How are you? How are you, MRE? Exactly. Gotti did not tell. That's right, MRE. You always said it too. You always said that. You'll be home later. MRE, thank you. And thank you for everything, because you've always said that from day one. You never believed any of it, and you never flip flop on it. You never said one thing one day and then the next day another thing. So thank you. And I hope you come back real soon. Why is everybody pressing one? Oh, press one if MRE is a stand-up guy. Okay, look, it's all ones. Okay, I see all ones. Okay, everybody, it's all ones. All right, everybody. Please go to the no-fly zone, Ricans. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here, and good night. And go tell Gravano he's a liar.